Hey, as an entrepreneur, learning accounting and government compliance does not happen by accident. So it takes strategy, time, and planning. And in today's episode, we are jumping into part 3 of my government compliance video podcast series. And I'm going to be breaking down the critical schedules in filing and paying our business taxes. We're going to be covering that and more in today's episode of the Digital Academy podcast. Welcome to the Digital Transformation Academy. My name is Dennis Hilario and I'm here to help you in your digital transformation journey. Let the show begin. Hey everyone and welcome to the podcast. It is a beautiful Friday morning, November 27, 2020. My name is Dennis Hilario and I am your host. And if you're new here, we deliver a brand new podcast every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So make sure you subscribe to whatever you're listening to this content right now. So again, this is part 3 of the government compliance series. And if you miss parts 1 and 2, make sure to go back and listen to them first and then jump back right here. So let's go right to the topic. There are 3 options in doing the tax filing and payment. So number 1 is you can register your company to the BIR online services, or what you call the EFPS or Electronic Filing Payment System. Or if not, you can go to option 2, which is the Electronic BIR form or EBIR form for non-EFPS companies. Or now option number 3, though I believe it is strongly discouraged. You can check with your RDO if they still accept manual filing. But the traditional manual filing is going to the BIR or going to a particular bank who supports BIR filing to do your manual filing of your BIR remittances. So now let's run through the different deadlines of your tax filing. So let's start with the income tax. So here there's a BIR form, then this is the deadline. So every year we fill out the form 1701 based on your audited financial statements. The deadline is every April 15th and the period covered is January to December of previous year. For quarterly filing and remittance, you fill out the form 1701Q every May 15th, August 15th, and November 15th. Then the period covered for May 15th is January to March. Period covered for August 15 is April to June, and the rest would be July to September. So an example, if you have a net income from previous year of 100,000, you multiply it with the current imposed income tax rate, for example 32%, then you have to remit 32,000 less the tax credits. The tax credits are creditable withholding tax that has been withheld by your customers during your day-to-day transactions. So the net of that would be the one you will file and remit and pay to your to the BIR. Next is for non-VAT registered businesses. You have to file what you call percentage tax. So you file it quarterly. And then you get the form 2551Q. By the way, you get these forms from bir.gov.ph. You just find the menu where you can download these forms. So the deadline is every 25th of April, July, October, and January. And then these are the period covered. So one example is that if your revenue for January to March totals to 100,000, then you multiply it by the 3% or the current percentage tax rate. So you have to remit and pay 3,000 pesos to the BIR. So for VAT registered businesses, you have to file the form 2550M every 20th of months February, March, May, June, August, September, November, and December. And the period covered shall be the previous month. And then the quarterly filing is every 25th of the month. So for the months of January, April, July, and October, and the period covered is the previous quarter. So as an example, if your gross receipt for the current period is 112,000, then you get the VAT. So the VAT basically there is 12%, and then you have to less or minus the gross purchases, the purchases that you paid to your suppliers. So for example, if your gross purchases is 56,000, then the 12% of that is 6,000, and then so 12,000 less the 6,000, so 6,000 shall be the one you need to remit to the BIR. The gross receipts for sales are normally called the output VAT, which is the 12,000, and the gross purchases is the input VAT, which is the 6,000. For withholding tax, the forms are 1601C for the employee tax withheld. So deadline is 10th of the month. For the suppliers, the expanded withholding tax is 0619E, also 10th of the month. And then the quarterly filing is 1601EQ, every last day of the month, and the period covered is the previous quarter. So for example, your total tax withheld for your employees are 20,000 pesos. So this is the one you should remit to the BIR during the tax filing. The next is the deadlines for your alpha list. So alpha list normally is done every end of the year or the following month from the year end. So you fill out the form 1604C for your compensation or employees, and then 1604E for your suppliers. So the alpha list deadline for your compensation is January 31. Period covered is previous year, and for the suppliers is March 1. Period covered is previous year. And then lastly, these are the contributions of your employees like SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig. So this is done every month. 10th of the month is the deadline for SSS and PhilHealth. Period covered is previous month. But for HDMF or Pag-ibig, it depends on the first letter of your business name. So for A to D, every 10 to 15th. E to L, though your window is every 15th or 19th of the month. M to Q, 20th to 24, and R to Z is 25th to the end of the month. And then the period covered here is your previous month. So that is it for this episode and in this series. If you have liked this episode and podcast, please make sure to share it with someone that you know who may need this. So that concludes the 3-part series of the Government Compliance Basics, and I encourage you to take action and start these learnings in complying to the government for your peace of mind. So for next week, I am excited to share with you another series about the general accounting and bookkeeping process. So again, I want to let you know that this episode is brought to you by Taxumo. It's an online tool to file and pay your taxes conveniently. Just go to taxumo.com and use the promo code accounting101 without spaces to avail of the 10% discount. And then again, if you haven't already, you have to check out my Accounting Starter digital course for small businesses. You may want to enroll to this course so you can fast-track your learning about accounting processes, up to computerization using our free 6-month access to our own online accounting software called Snap Accounting. And then I have another surprise for you this coming week. So I'm now working on another course. So it's the next level of automating your business and your business processes. So I can't wait to share that information to you. So stay tuned. So DX your life and business. Have a great day.